Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is kind of an impromptu stream on my smaller computer here because I'm going to, if possible, take this thing mobile. Not sure that's going to work well live streaming with all the attachments I have on here, but what we're actually going to do here is calm down the annoying cat that just showed up. Come here, come here, come here. Yeah, you, come here. Okay, fine. Kitty's just being crazy. The other kitty's like wondering what's going on. Hey, there's the other kitty. There's the other kitty. What's going on? I just don't understand. All right. Anyway, what we're going to do is, as you may know if you followed my videos, that the big computer that I was using as my media center attached to my TV died. And what I would like to do then is create a Raspberry Pi for that. Now, what I wanted to do was wait until I could budget in for a new Raspberry Pi so I could have one dedicated just for the TV, but I don't see that happening anytime soon because, you know, I need to pay for other more important matters first. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just use my existing Pi, and you know, for the most part, the Pi just kind of sits on my desk down here. I use it for VPN, I use it for video gaming and things like that. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to walk through setting up open source media center and Kodi on this and get it all configured for my network. And so that's kind of what we're going to do here. So you just kind of bear with me as we move things around, as we get screens set up, and we're just going to kind of do this as a live rather than as a tutorial. So we're going to see a lot of the junk in between back and forth, and so we'll see what happens. First thing is, it's been a long day, and I got to get me some coffee. So this is my, I boiled some water and threw my coffee beans in there, so I'm going to be making some coffee first. And so, let's press this down, and I put in just enough water here to make a single cup of coffee for my travel mug, and hopefully that doesn't keep me too wired, but oh yeah, French press coffee. I'm using Folgers Black Silk Coffee is what I'm using today. Very good coffee flavor. All right, so that's pretty good. All right. So I only have one monitor hooked up to this computer right now. So you're going to see some OBS screens back and forth. But first I'm going to tell you walk you through my setup. So obviously I have a Raspberry Pi here. And I have an SD card that doesn't have anything important on it. For this computer, I'm either going to need a USB, or actually what I'm going to do instead is grab another adapter. Since there's so many USB ports already plugged in here, I'm going to just go ahead and use my SanDisk adapter to convert my micro SD card to a standard size, because this computer actually has SD card readers. Amazing. Apple can't figure that stuff out. So then what we're going to do is I'm going to start by placing the Open Source Media Center image on the disk, and then once you plop that into the Raspberry Pi and boot up the Raspberry Pi, that'll take care of most of the rest of the settings. Hello, Lance, and of course, hello, Piggy Uniform. I did not say hello to you yet. Greetings, everybody. So, I need to have a keyboard just to make sure I get things set up right, and then some of the other things I'm going to need, since this is a Raspberry Pi 2, I need internet. And so I'm actually going to start just with an Ethernet cable, which is kind of off camera. I'm going to start with an Ethernet cable just so I can get all the downloads in pretty quickly without messing with anything. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pull it off the Ethernet, and then I'm going to use this wireless card. And this USB wireless card was going to be what bridges internet. Now, this is not the greatest thing in the world, so I'm going to lose some signaling in here, but it's going to work until I can afford to get a Raspberry Pi 3 with an onboard Wi-Fi. So I have a keyboard, which is set up over here, and then I'm just going to plug that in just in case I need a keyboard. The other thing is I actually run all my music on an external USB port. This way I don't stream music back and forth on my system and it's pretty small, and so I just kind of plug that into a port, which I'll actually plug that in after everything else is set up. So first step is we need to go and we need to put the image on the card there. So if you just go to, and let's see, what do I want? I want screen and audio only. I'm going to go away for a few minutes. There we are. There's screen and audio only. Okay, so here is where you can actually download OSMC. Now, one of the reasons I'll tell you that I decided to do this is Kodi was in the news, mostly I think in UK right now. Is like some ISPs are now starting to block some of the plugins that are put onto it. Now, to be fair, some people are creating Kodi plugins that are unauthorized content. We don't want to do that kind of stuff. You want to make sure anything you're doing on here is authorized. But it is a case where we kind of start to see that this net neutrality is a big thing, because if they can come in here and just block access to certain things at will, well, who's to say that, oh, you're running one of those open source media centers and you're not paying fees, so we're just going to block your device, but we're not going to block ours because ours is, you're paying money for ours. And that's precisely why you want net neutrality existing. So I'm not sure if I have the absolute latest version. Let me actually just go ahead and double check that, because this is such a small file, it's not a huge deal. Raspberry Pi, and let's see, it's going to look at disk images. So I have a Raspberry Pi 2, and let's see, so there is actually a 2017, so that one's actually pretty new. So let's just go ahead. These are 200 megabytes, so I shouldn't have a problem downloading that. Okay, there's an MD5 checksum. It's going to keep that on the page. Really, that's 19 minutes? Yeah. We're not going to download that at 19 minutes. I'm just going to stick with the one I have right now, and I'll just update it on the system. So I already have it. You download the image, the zipped image, and over here is the actual image file. I should probably just get rid of this. Of course, you can see that this is one of the older ones. I've downloaded it a while ago, and I verified it. So I'm just going to plug in my SD card now. You have a quick look at the comments there in case anyone's trying to say something. Yeah, I don't care if my IP address is in the window. Wait, which IP address are you talking about, by the way? If you're talking about this IP address up here, this is actually the IP address for the website. This is a plugin that shows me the IP addresses, which is actually quite important for a lot of the web design stuff that I do, because I need to know what server I'm on. And I can read servers based on their IP addresses. Right? For a lot of your major hosts, if you tell me the IP address, I can usually tell you what their hosting company is. It's kind of funny. But if you're seeing it somewhere else, let me know. But if this one here, this is actually the IP address for this particular website. Great idea for video. Used my Pi for TV when our sat dish got destroyed by falling ice. Yeah, I actually used mine pretty much exclusively for everything until the computer died a couple weeks ago. Oh, hey, no. A lot of people, if you do not understand what this is, then that's cool. In fact, this is a plugin. It's called Show IP that I have to block a lot of things. They do some funny stuff in the background, but there's no other good plugin that will just show me this IP without me having to go up and push buttons. And it's very critically important that I see that IP pretty much instantly. All right. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and close that down. Let's see. Okay, we're going to close that. We're going to close that. This might already be an open source media center, but if it is, I want to wipe it out anyway. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see, I don't want to double click that. I want to right click that, and I want to use disk image writer. And then this is where you have to be extremely careful, because if I write it right here, I will overwrite my hard drive, and that would kind of suck. So this guy here is the SD card, so this is where I'd like to write it. It is smaller than the target. Oh, you know why? I think I might need to, let's see. Oh, yeah, it's smaller. Duh. Okay. All right. And that'll just take a minute there, so I'm going to go ahead and drink a little bit more coffee. I'll tell you what, French press coffee is way better than your drip percolation coffee. All right. Now, while we're working on that, I'm going to see the screen set up, and I need to track down my information here. So I'm going to plug in my a monitor to my Raspberry Pi. I'm going to do all my configuration on the monitor over here, and I'll point a camera at it. And then I have a power supply down here for a Pi. All right, so that's ready to go. Check my status here. Okay, that says it is done. So I'm going to pop out my drive, and then we're going to slide that into the Raspberry Pi, and then all we have to do is just boot up the Pi now. Camp percolator. No, it's this is a Mr. Coffee brand. There's a few different brands out there. I got the Mr. Coffee brand simply because Ollie's had it for $10, and can't beat a brand new Mr. Coffee French press for $10, especially when I happen to have an extra 10 spotter in my wallet. And I was specifically pricing them. I wasn't intending to buy today, but you know, had the cash on hand, and it's something that was on my target to get, and went for it. Well, you can always try, see if RetroPie works on BeagleBoard or not. You can give it a test and see. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras over here to the monitor. I'm going to plug the Pi in. Let's see what happens. This will be an experiment for us all. That's not what you want to hear going into surgery, by the way. All right. So we're getting a little bit of action there. Okay, so now it says it's formatting device. Everything here is going on automatically. This is the beautiful thing about open source media centers. It pretty much does all the work. This is pretty easy. The hard part's actually going to be doing the configuration. And that's kind of why I'm going to do this as the video, because I'm actually going to get this set up to walk on over to my TV. And be ready to plug in. It may or may not work because this Wi-Fi card and the other signaling in the house is kind of goofy. But all right, let's see. Clean the monitor a bit. Probably. All right, fine. Give me a second. If I break this, it's your fault. There we go. Nice clean monitor. Good call. Still says installing files. I hope that it's not dead. All right. Hey, well, this is still downloading files. I am going to be traveling this weekend, and so I will not have up a live news tomorrow. If all goes well, we'll put up a non-live news. I do not expect it's going to be quite as fun as having everybody there. But I am planning a tinfoil hat time live on Sunday looking at the new Windows 10 S. And we are all going to pontificate what S means. Does it mean S as in slim? Because that's what Apple's doing. And Microsoft seems to be copying Apple with everything. Or does S mean sucks? Because Windows 10 sucks. Or does S mean spy? Because Windows 10 is a spy. We're going to pontificate what S means and why it's such a bad system. And maybe what they're trying to do. I don't know. We'll see. I'll Tom is cleaning live now. That is dedication. Yes. Maybe I should clean the hold on. You know what it didn't clean? Hold on. Didn't clean that for a while. Oh, bummer. You missed it. I cleaned the camera. All right. Okay, so sometimes I actually will use one of the here's another fun device you can have around your house for SD cards. Is this guy here will convert an SD card on one side, converts it to a USB port. So I have a couple of these. I think this might be the only one I have that still works. I'm not sure what's wrong with the other one, but and then of course with all of these cool Linux things, various Linux operating systems, just you can get these guys here in like the craft sections of stores or in a Michael's if you have one, and basically it just allows me to sort things. And if I had a bigger one or one that I could put smaller components, I would actually label what each distro is, because like this is OpenSUSE, full function OpenSUSE with Windows 10 on it. So this guy here will run OpenSUSE and Windows 10. I just need to plug that in. Piggy Uniforms talking about RetroPie. This is my RetroPie disk. Plug this into the Raspberry Pi, plug in some controllers, which I have Logitech controllers. They work beautifully. This is my OpenVPN. This guy here is just my distro hopper. I don't remember what's on that. I haven't a clue what's on that. This is my banking computer, and this is a Kodi setup. Just keep those laying around, and so, you know, you have all those. All right, it says Open Source Media Center has installed successfully. We're going to test that theory. Give it a second, see what it does. I do not remember at this point if I have to turn the thing off, reboot it on. It should boot right into it, though. Oh, there it goes. It's doing something. It's moving. It's alive. It's alive. Is Open Source Media Center like Kodi? Open Source Media Center is Kodi. It is a well, it's a lightweight Raspberry Pi distro that just boots directly into Kodi. And I should plug in internet. It's waiting for something right now. Let me plug in internet to it. All right, so now you have this. This is a newer theme. I kind of like the older theme. Let's see. Okay, so here I have to set up my. I think I'm on language here. Oh, cancel. Yep, there we are. English. There we go. So set English and confirm English. Yes, time zone. Okay, so you're going to push over to get to the time zones. So let's see. I'm going to do America, then push over again, and I'm going to find something that... Going to find New York. New York, New York. All right, so now we want to give our device a name. You want to give it a name, or you can suggest a random name. So here, we'll just go ahead and write switch to Linux Open Source Media Center. Well, let's see. Wait. I ain't buying Netflix. There you go. Of course, I'm going to want to take note of this. I love the name I Ain't Buying Netflix. However, I am going to have to reference this name, so I'm just going to keep it simple and call it Open Source Media Center, OSMC. So we're just going to do that. That's good. And now we're going to come down here, click Accept. I generally don't have a need for SSH much. Once I get this thing set up, I generally am not going to want to mess with it a whole lot. And I can turn on SSH from inside the system if I want to. So I'm just going to leave that disabled. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I have actually been through that thing before. Seems okay to me. So now I can pick my theme. This is kind of the new one. This is your classic Kodi theme. I really like the classic Kodi theme. So I'm going to do that. No, I do not need your newsletter. And now we're going to exit. It should. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we have a system set up. And what I need to do is come in and I need to set up my different file settings. So under your file manager here, I'm going to come in here and click on this guy. And then what I want to do is... actually, at this point in time, what I want to do is I want to run some updates before I even plug anything in. So we're going to go ahead and do that just in case nothing breaks. I have to remember exactly where all the updates set from, which I think it was actually automatically doing it. Okay, updates is up there. Let's do manual control. We're going to scan for updates now. All right. I hate Kodi 17 skin, so change it to Kodi 16 skin, but still running 17. I'm not sure which skin I have. Is that 16 or 17? I'm not sure which the different skins are. I had Netflix no more as I have Kodi. Yeah, this system here, I've run, I think the other computer I had was running OpenELEC, which worked great, but I kind of got to that point as I'm minimizing my office and things. I love the idea of running all this off of a Raspberry Pi rather than a big bulky computer. The only major advantage I had with a big bulky computer is that computer actually had an IR port on it. And with the computer having the IR port, in theory, you can hook up a like a Logitech smart remote to it, which was neat in theory, except you would have to go in and do all of your configure your controller manually, which was kind of a pain, and it's so much easier just to use the just go ahead and use the apps. So we are going to set up the app to run it. So it's 16. So I haven't seen what the Kodi 17 looks like then. You can get more themes, but I like that one. And you can also put your own images on the background if you want to put images. Like maybe I'll find my picture of cats in tinfoil hats and put it on there. That'd be fun, right? Should I do that? Cats in tinfoil hats on my Kodi? Let's do it. All right. Is this my cats? All right, I found my cats in tinfoil hats picture. Now I need to just drop it on my server. Okay, well that's going there. Let me go and transition back to this. So what I'm going to do is on my other computer here, I have my picture of my cats wearing tinfoil hats. And so I'm just going to drop that onto my NAS drive so I can grab it. What do I want to... Where do I want to put that? We're going to go ahead and drop it. I'm actually going to drop it right in my video folder simply because that's the only one that that's the only one I want to directly connect. Actually, I don't know. I might want to connect another one, but we're going to run it to my video folder. All right, so downloads. It's downloading. It is downloading. It's about halfway there, looks like. Sorry for the For the delay, this is what you get when you do a live stream on something like that. So let me jump back over there to the screen. All right, so the tasks that we have to do. One of our tasks is that we are going to need to connect our Wi-Fi. Now, what I'm going to want to do is every time I turn this on, I want it to always be on the same IP address. So I'm going to need to go into my router, and I'm going to need to set this as, set my DNS on my router so that every time this wireless card jumps on, it gives that computer the exact same IP address. Because your smartphone and tablet app is going to use the IP address to find it on the network, and then we're going to go ahead and log in from that. And the next thing is I'm going to plug in my music card. I'm going to map my music card to that. I'm going to map my network video folder in. We're going to change the image on the background to be cats in tinfoil hats, and then we're going to just verify everything works on the Wi-Fi. And if I can get this system going mobile, I'll go ahead and move the computer in and actually plug it in. I'm not completely sure we're going to be able to do that. But that kind of those are the steps that we're working towards right now. Android Media Player. It's Kodi pre-installed. Yeah, the Raspberry Pi is going to take a whole lot less power, and that's what's attracting me to do that. Now I just need to budget for a Raspberry Pi 3 with the onboard Wi-Fi. I think that the onboard Wi-Fi is going to give me a way better signal than this device is, so it may or may not actually work all that well for streaming movies onto it. What I may end up doing is just grabbing an external card, putting my favorite movies on it, and plugging that in too. But we'll see what happens. Did I look up Proton Mail yet? I have not looked up Proton Mail yet. I have, it looks like, another few minutes before this downloads everything. I'm going to go ahead and type in Proton Mail onto let's start page, I guess we're going to use. Proton, or is it? Okay, Proton Mail. Let's look at that. Where's my screen setup? Screen and audio. All right, so here's the Proton Mail. Swiss privacy, anonymous email. Ooh, this looks fun. Yeah, I think I might have to, let's see, I'm going to have to come over here and set one of these bad boys up here. That looks totally awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. It was written down on my board to look at. I just did not get the chance to actually do so yet. Yeah, that looks really good, actually. I like the whole Swiss and underneath 1,000 feet of rock. That's pretty sweet. And for 1,000 feet, by the way, that's a whole lot more than you might think. I used to live out west. We had a mountain on the edge of our town that was almost exactly 1,000 feet high, and it was fun climbing it every now and again. Now, sometimes I need those reminders. It's just like, yeah, I kind of need a reminder sometimes. Just go ahead and do some of the things. Next time, Anna, can you keep reminding me to start working on the Home Cooking Hacks logo, or at least start to post videos without having the logo done? I just have in my head the beautiful video I want to produce, and it's just going to take some time. That, and I have about 15 large projects came across my desk right now, and so I'm working on a whole bunch of projects over in New York and Boston area right now, so. All right. So our status here, where are we at? 114, 115 out of 135. So we're downloading, and then we're going to have to install. I'm wondering if I can do anything else while this is downloading. That would be neat. Yeah. walk through some of these screens here. All right. I'm just verifying everything, see if anything might need changed. Looks like we're going to stick with all our defaults there. New remotes box. I've not seen that one before. See, the problem is the remote that I have is not in this list, and so you can use them. You just have to go into the terminal, push the buttons, and manually make the changes. So, not exactly what we want to do. So this is where I would change that. Let's see. Okay, I don't need any of those. So there's really nothing in here that I need. I am going to need to configure the network, but I'm going to do that after I get a chance to get all the updates in, and we're going to put in the Wi-Fi, and then we're going to configure the network stuff. I need to make sure I'm porting the right MAC address to the right IP address in the router. Are you from Central Pennsylvania? Yes, I am from Central Pennsylvania. I am not too far from Penn State main campus. If you are there too, hey, let's meet for a cup of coffee. That'd be cool. Hey, Diego, how are you? Nice to see you guys. Are you going to put a heat sink on that bad boy? That bad boy has a heat sink, actually. Yes, we are going to do that. And because of how tight actually, you know what? I can show you the heat sink. I just have to move a few things around here. We're going to do this, and what we're going to do is come over here, and I need to grab this, and whoa, look, it's a sleeping cat. And down here's where I have my Pi chilling out. If you can see that, there's a heat sink right here. That's the main CPU, I believe, and I believe this one's the graphics. So there's two heat sinks on this Raspberry Pi. Whoa, sleeping cat. That's more interesting than me or the system updating, so there's a sleeping cat. You can all be jelly of my kitty. Or jealous of the fact he's sleeping, one of the two. Right, cat? Philippines or Phillipsburg? Yeah. All right. So actually, I'm going to be getting a new studio lamp. Well, it's actually in the other room. I just need to get it set up. But I am getting rid of the fish tank that I have and have had for a while. But someone came and got the fish today, and so the fish tank no longer needs their light. So I have a amazing Fluval high intensity full spectrum lamp system that I'm going to use as my new lighting source for the office. It'll be sweet. Yes, we need the donuts too. Coffee and donuts. I was like tragedy struck the other night during that major power outage. All sorts of stuff happened. I go out just to look for somewhere where I can get a little bit there, and I hit this donut shop. It was open, but it was closing in a few minutes. No! guy back over here. Well, that does things. So it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer for the packages to get installed. Let me see. Let me think if I can test what my router is. I think one of the things I will do right now while we're waiting is I'm going to go ahead and log into my router right now. If I can remember the password into this thing. Never use default passwords on routers and things like that. Kind of goes without saying, but a lot of people don't realize how insecure they actually are. Hey, OpenELEC, I can remove that one. That computer has died. Okay, so we were at 45%. Yeah, well, as you can get a ARM processor, like an ARM processor supported Linux distro, you can put them on there. You can even get a Windows 10 version for a Raspberry Pi, but I'm not sure why in the world you'd want that. I think Microsoft's just thinking, let's just put Windows 10 everywhere in the entire world, and then we'll be perfect, and then the whole world will just kind of blow up on them or something. I don't know. But regardless. Tried a website called Have I Been Pawned? Yes, I have looked at that. And I'm trying to think. I think I had one email address had been pawned in one security thing. None of my other ones had, which was actually kind of good. But it's kind of like not much you can do about it, but I just try and keep my emails kind of isolated and separated, and just, funny things like don't use your cell phone for two-factor authentication. It becomes really fast, becomes the weakest link in your security. Just all sorts of weird things like that. I'll come back over here. Hey, why not? I think maybe what we'll do is, why don't we go over and look at that Have I Been Pawned website so you can have a look at that. In case you're not familiar with it yourself, while we're waiting for this system to update, do something exciting. I typed that in wrong. Okay, so if you are not familiar with this, then this is the website. So basically you can enter your email address in here and it will cross-reference that against all of these leaked informations, and it will let you know. So these are the total types of places. Who uses MySpace anymore? LinkedIn, woohoo! So this one here is a sensitive breach, not publicly available. This is an unverified breach, and spam lists. Yay, spam listiness. That's amazing. So they have here, it looks like over 3 billion records, 213 websites, 48,000 pastes, all sorts of stuff. But the idea is you come up here, you enter in your email address, and it will tell you if you have been pawned. But I mean for Raspberry Pi. What do you mean for Raspberry Pi? Windows 10 for Raspberry Pi? Yes, it exists. Windows 10 for Raspberry. Whoa, helps when I spell Raspberry right. They might have changed it over this. There you go. Here you go. How to Windows 10 IoT Core plus Raspberry Pi 3 directly from Microsoft's developer website. So yes, there is a Raspberry Pi for Microsoft Windows 10 or Windows 10 for Raspberry Pi. Not sure why you'd possibly do that to to your Raspberry Pi, but you know, I guess to each his own. MySpace website. I'm sorry you had MySpace. Who's in your top 8 spaces, yo? Good, somebody learned something from my videos. Every now and again I learn from my videos, but oh well. Windows 10 IoT Core. I was pretty sure it was. I mean, this came out even before they had announced the IoT Core thing. It was out there a long time back, so I think that this, I'm not sure of the development of this because I don't follow Windows 10 all that much, and nor do I follow a whole ton of Raspberry Pi stuff. But I do recall seeing a full-featured, like quote unquote full-featured Windows 10 for Raspberry Pi somewhere. That may not be it, but I do remember seeing it at one point in time. You have been pawned. No! Has anybody not been pawned on here yet? We're in Ubuntu Mate on my Pi 3. It ran pretty well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm actually running Ubuntu Mate for my my current media setup PC since my other one had died finally. And I wanted to run Ubuntu for that because I really like the way Ubuntu interfaces with all my media software. And but I did not want to use 17 because there still seems to be a few stability issues with it. But 16 running Unity does not work on the AMD graphics card. And so I end up just using Ubuntu 16.04 Mate, which is awesome, actually. The more I use it, the more I like it. Mate rocks. Are you pawned? What's your IP? My IP is my IP. Hey, we are at 92%. I think this is done and we can get on to the rest of the tutorial here shortly, I think. $98. $99. What is this, Windows? Goes right on up to 99 and stops. Running depackage. Woo. 100. Blast off. To adventure, the amazing year. 27 bajillion. IoT Core doesn't work well. What a coincidence. Neither does Windows 10. I can't say that. Windows 10's not too bad except for the privacy stuff. And I hate that new abomination they call a start menu. Thing makes me want to vomit. Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protein spill. That's a new loading screen. I kind of like that one. Ooh. Ooh, that looks cool. It's different than I was anticipating it to look, but I hope I can get my old theme back. Oh, it's building. Okay, it's doing skin shortcuts. Unable to load skins. Some files are missing. Writing menus. This must be that new theme you were talking about. Yeah, I don't like it. Of course, I think I'm going to need to go back into settings to get that fixed. Interface. Skin. It looks like I'm kind of stuck with... the other one's better. Looks like the update gives me the old skin, and I do not like the... it's not bad. It's just... I really like the old skin, how it looked. I don't know. Maybe this one will grow on me. I think what I can do, let's see. Come down to get more. I'm going to find something. I didn't, is that, okay, so Anna, is that the new theme you were talking about? Yeah, Kodi 17, hate it. Give me that old theme back. So let's just look for something that looks cool. So that one actually kind of resembles the old one. Beautiful. Now I'm back to what I like. Okay. So now we're going to get some configurations going. Okay, I do not need, I don't know. Let's see what the weather looks like. Services for weather. I've never actually had the desire to use my Kodi system to check the weather. I always thought it was easier. Like, want to check the weather? Right there, KDE. There's my weather. That, and I do own these amazing devices called smartphones. But, I don't know. Let's see. Open weather. Hey, let's do weather China. Anybody can anybody recommend a good weather thing? I don't want Yahoo weather. That's kind of crazy. Let's look at open weather. See what that does. Confluence, I believe, is the name of the thin skin we were looking for. Yeah, look out a nearby window. Amen to that. Yep. You like to have an avatar. Okay. All right, let's look at... No, I don't really want an API key. If you want force me to get an API key, you're going away. Actually, that's not too bad. I think maybe I will keep that around. Okay. Pictures I generally don't use on this, so if I remember correctly, I have to remember where all my settings are, but you can actually turn on and turn off your various settings. So play next video automatically. I generally turn that on. we will not be running a DVD player on here, so I don't need to mess with any of that kind of stuff. Turn that off. All right. So we're just going to walk through pretty much all these. Okay, so various sources. Okay. I think this is new. Let's see. Video. We're going to add video sources. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to jump over here just so that I'm not showing passwords and usernames for my file system. But we're going to browse over here. Okay, so all I did there is I went over and I just selected the, let me fix my camera view there. There you go. I went over and I just typed in the information for the appropriate folder on my NAS drive. And now I'm going to say it contains movies. So some of these settings are actually new since I did the update. So this is a little bit different, but I'm not anticipating any real issues. I'm going to go ahead and use the movie database. That generally does okay. I'll generally have to fix up a few things. Enable fan art. No, definitely do not enable a trailer from YouTube. That would drive me mad. Can I, don't give me ratings? I don't really give a darn toot in what some other idiot says is a rating for a particular movie that I own in my path. Thank you much. To refresh all items. Sure. Okay. So that's going to be refreshing. I'm actually going to, let's see if this will take my music right now. It may or may not. And it may or may not take the Wi-Fi. I'm going to not mess with the Wi-Fi yet. All right, so it's actually going through, it's just out of screen there, but it's actually going through the movie library, updating data. Let's see. Gonna back up. We're gonna go down under music, and that is actually all of my music. So okay. Look at that one more time there. Yeah, it should just be, I'm drawing a blank on that part. how I put that in before. It should just automatically detect where the music is at and update the library, but I'll work on that if that's not correct. Let's see. Update on startup, yes. And yeah, let's go ahead and update everything on startup. All right, so show parent folders, show extensions. See if anybody is leaving me fun comments. All right. Wow, tons of comments. Weather Underground is good. Exists as the best video ad for Kodi for movies and TV shows. Yeah, I'm going for legit. I'm not doing anything that's shady. I'm just not into that kind of stuff. So. Hello, TOS today. Weather Underground they were talking about. All right. I've been using them recently. They used to be good. Yeah, I never used Weather Underground just because there was also that crazy radical organization by the same kind of name. I've just never been a big fan of that. Long time ago. Cool, new stuff. I'll have to go check yours out, TOS, today. I think I've seen some of your videos. I just can't remember off the top of my head. I'll go over there soon. Yeah, I'll not do that one. All right. Okay, videos, default select actions play, extract thumbnails from videos. Some of these I might change after I get a chance to, show movie sets, definitely. That's one of the features I really like is there's a set option you can go to, and all the movies that you have there from the same set, they'll all be there. Okay. I actually, on music, I do a really good job of tagging things myself, so I do not like doing any external scrapers. So I'm going to not prefer online. And like I said, I still can't, I want to add music, and I want to add it from the drive there. Why am I not remembering that part? I think I just have to go from the root file system and mount the thing is what I'm going to have to do, I think. There you go. That's it. Duh. Okay, yes. All right, so that's now updating the music. Back up. Add-ons. I don't use a whole lot of add-ons, but what I do actually, a couple of them that I really like. I like Top Documentary Films, except it's not. It's gotten worse over the years, but I'm still going to install it. The other one that I use a lot is I like watching TED Talks, and so I want to install the TEDs. If I can. I'm going to do that from a different location. I'm going to come over here under movies. Did they get rid of it? Really? Oh, not movies. Videos. That's why. Hello. I'm Tom, and I do this every day. Come down here. I'm just pushing the over arrow to bring up the side confluence menu that you can barely see. And actually, let me move that lamp out of the way so that gives you a better view there. So I'm going to hit the Get More, and then now I can browse just the video ones. That's generally the only ones I want. So TED Talks. This plugin works wonderfully, and the TED Talks are pretty cool. I like that you can get different viewpoints. You know, one of the challenges, particularly with things like social media, is it brings us more narrow focused onto our own viewpoints. And by watching a lot of random TED Talks, you can get a lot of other viewpoints that you wouldn't otherwise watch. And that's really important to be a more well-rounded human, is to really understand things. All right. Thanks, TOS today. All right. Yeah, thanks for the congrats on the 2K subs. Yeah, that happened earlier this week. I didn't make a big deal about that one. I might make a bigger deal when I cross 5,000, but we'll see. All right. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to try and find the spot in the system. Let's see. There's a spot where I can remove, I think it's interface. Let's see. Skin is confluence, configure skin. There we are. Miscellaneous, show pause, play trailers. No. Okay, so show video, show music, show weather. Sure. Yeah, recently added albums, yes. Okay, so there's options to hide. I'm going to hide pictures. I'm going to hide programs. I generally do not use Kodi for any of those. Okay, background. I'm going to enable a custom background, and I'm going to, let's see. You know what I'm going to have to do? Here's what we're going to do for the custom background is I'm going to come over into my file manager. And I'm going to grab, let's see, add source, browse. And once again, I think I'm going to have to enter in my password here. So I'm just going to move off of that until I get a chance to do that. Okay, so what I did here is I threw my picture of my cats and hats inside of here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over, not profile directory, what do I need to do? I think what I'll do is I'm just going to drop it in over here. So we're going to hit the C button and we're going to copy it, and we'll say yes, and it copies it from the left panel into the right. So now we'll see I have cats and hats in the bottom down here at the very bottom. And so now we're going to go back into my theme. And interface and configure skin, background path. And it is right here. So there is my new background, is my cats and my tinfoil hats. Okay, so there's how we want to do that. And so now we'll see I have system, I have music, I have movies, I have videos, I have weather. By the way, not all these are right. Like, I have no idea what this Run for Your Life is. This guy here. These are being pulled in from my media library and they're not correct. So I have to fix some of these things. So basically from my whole movie collection, it mistags about 15 or 20 things. So I have to go in and manually fix those, but that's not a real huge deal. So let's see if the weather, I've never actually run weather on these, but this is actually pretty sweet. So I can actually check my weather. That's pretty cool. I like it. That sounds fun. So videos, I have files, I have add-ons, here's movies. Okay, so it's still loading media from the library for music, but that's quite okay. What we're going to do now, I'm going to, I think it's done updating stuff. I'm going to pull the internet connection. I'm going to see what that does, too, to the to the library stuff, because I do not want, like, movies I want pulling from online resources, but music I want to run my own music system. So now I'm plugging in my Wi-Fi card, and I'm not sure if I have to reset this, reset the system, reboot the system to get the Wi-Fi card enabled. I'm not completely sure. So we're gonna go ahead and have a look. Is it services? No. I have to remember where it is. Okay. Some of this stuff that you don't do every single day, you just kind of forget where it is. There you go, network. Okay, so we are not connected. So what I might have to do is I might have to go in and let me just double check this. Would be under services. I'm just setting a very simple password for my system. If I find anybody gets crazy and kind of tries to hack it, I'll make it more complicated, but I don't need it to be any crazier than that because it's only something that gets done from the outside. Okay. Very well might be I'm missing it because it's not one of these. What I'm looking for is the I'm looking for the network. Like I said, I might have to just reboot the system to get it to show up. Don't think it's profiles. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to reboot the system. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on. We're going to reboot, and hopefully that'll boot back on with the Wi-Fi card set up there. All right. See you later, TOS. Is there an application to save Kodi settings? I don't know if there's an application to save Kodi settings, but you might be able to export a file or something. I don't know where they're all set at. All right, so that is loading up. It's doing something with my USB port. I think it's because it was still trying to grab media files, and I'm not sure if it's stuck on the shutdown or on the reboot. I'm not completely sure. It looks like it was stuck on the shutdown, so it did not want to shut down right away. So now it's trying to run a start job on HTTP query. Should not be able to find one because it's not set up yet. And then now we're going to come over here and see. All right, cats and tinfoil hats. Yeah, I am not seeming to find where they put the, let's see. I'm not seeming to find where they put the wireless settings. I remember them being right under system. Looks like the system just crashed out on me. Oh, no, maybe not. Network. Not connected, check network settings. Yeah, I'm trying to check network settings. What I'm not able to find is where that is. Does anybody remember where that is? They must have moved it from add-ons, services, general, control. Yeah, I have been through every single setting on here. I cannot see where the settings are to that is so totally weird. Click on the word system, not the submenus. Okay, this is, okay, so device, display, audio, input. We're going to disable the mouse support. Yeah, this is where I would see it would be at, but I'm not seeing the ability. Maybe it's just not recognizing my card, which is kind of scary because it always has in the past. Move my port around. Yeah, we might be dead in the water here on this one. I'm not finding the location. It should be in here. Huh. Let me look that up over here real quick. I've never had a problem before just plugging the card in and accessing it. Okay. Should be under network. Yes, I do remember that. Which, this is the only network I recall. It just says link not connected. And that's my challenge right now, is it is not recognizing that there is actually a network card available. Disconnect card and plug it back in. I have done that. I'm going to do another reboot. You know where it might be, it might supposed to be at is the Pi configuration. But I'm not seeing the Pi configuration on Confluence. So what I might have to do is change the theme back. And then with the theme change back is go back and fix it from there. And then change the theme back again. So I think that that's what we're going to have to do. I seem to be stuck somewhere not being able to access the Open Source Media Center settings panel. And that seems to be the one that I need to access. So let's try doing that. That's my working hypothesis. Yeah, my wired connection is disconnected. Okay, so settings. Look under, I have not examined profiles. Okay, which I was pretty sure was not going to help me out. Okay, so if I come down here under settings, I'm going to go ahead and change the theme back to something else. Okay. Yeah, again, though, it's not giving me, let's see, services, control. We might just be sunk in the water. I think what I might have to do is just kind of go at the end here. Let's see. Make sure the IP address in Kodi is the same as IP address on the PC. No, that is irrelevant. We cannot access any network. It's not detecting my wireless card. So if I were to actually come on and plug my system back in, then it would work. I just need to be able to access this wirelessly on my wireless card. And for whatever reason, like I thought if I move back over here, it would give me my Open Source Media Center menu. That I think is where I have to set this up from. But I'm not seeing that on any of my skins, and that's kind of my problem. Let's check settings. Let's look at interface again. You know what? There is a system I turned off. First, let me go back to Confluence because I know Confluence more than anything else. There is another system that I disabled. Let me go ahead and re-enable that. That's what I needed. Note to self, don't take that one off until you don't need it. All right, so we're going to look at wireless. Okay, no wired connection. Okay, stop working. There's nothing to do here. Oh boy. All right, never mind. Status, no wired, fine. Wireless, enable adapter. Okay, so that was the problem, that the wireless was not enabled. And so now we got that going. Okay. Let's see if I can get into this guy. I think I totally typed something incorrectly. Try that again. If you can remember a password like that, you are officially a geek. That one did fail, though. Let me try. Okay, it does not like that. Let me try. Does not like that one either. I really hate this interface that they give me. This is like, I think, the world's worst interface I think I've ever seen for entering a network. I'm kind of stuck randomly grabbing and hoping I get one, which is not an easy thing to do because of how locked down my network is. I need a simple interface where I just have to go in and type the information manually. But this is one of those cases of, I was talking about user friendliness, but hold on, I can't talk and type this. This is one of those classic cases of user friendliness absolutely getting in the way of things that I know exactly what I need to do, and it just keeps on failing. Because I can't see what network it is I'm attempting to access, and that's exciting. Come on, stupid. Access. See, I know exactly what I need to do, but I can't get it. So once again, we're kind of stuck because we're in this excessively user-friendly thing that is horrible. So let's see if I can actually go into here and access it over in the network again. Oh boy. So no, I have to do it through the programs menu. So I have to figure out how to get this thing to work, even though the network access sucks. Even Confluence, though, is not it. With user friendliness like that, you don't need user enemies. This is true. Absolutely. Because I know exactly what I need to do, but it's not allowing me to, actually get into the network. I can't see network settings. It's like, where is my advanced option to get in here? And that's probably going to fail. Oh, look at that. It actually worked that time. That's exciting. Huh. Wow. I think we're online. Beautiful. We are actually online. Woohoo! Success! All right, I'm going to go over there for a second, and I'm going to come over here, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into my router, and I'm actually going to set this up as a reservation table so it always logs in with the exact same IP address. Okay, so it's at 113 is my IP address it's locked at now. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to find my app, and I'm going to clear off the old one, and I'm going to work on the new one. So let me find that. Okay, I'm just going to remove the old one. All right, so now what we're going to do is, I have the app on an Android tablet. So this is what I'm going to use to control the device. So I'm just going to click on the add up here, and then I have to go ahead and just go through everything. So it's going to search for media centers on the local network. It may or may not find one. So in this case, it does find it. It's right there. Confirm that's the correct one. I have to enter the username, which I gave it just a really stupid simple one because I'm not really anticipating it needing it to be any harder. And that worked. So now it's connected to the center. I can come over here. I can look up the movies that I have. I'm going to have to come in and fix this, but I can actually just go ahead and click any movie that I want to click and push play, and it should automatically just start going. So here you can see it says it's working down in the corner. You can't see that, but it does say it's working. It may not load up the movie until maybe it will. Okay, so there you go. So now it's loading the movie without a problem. I can have it do music, whatever else. We're going to go ahead, though. Now this is working. I'm going to actually stop the movie. And I'm going to double check the audio, because that's something else that I have not done yet, is I've not looked at the audio settings. I want to make sure that it's outputting the audio to the... Let's see, there's videos. So I want to make sure it's outputting the audio to the audio port, not to HDMI. And I just got to find that. And after that, I think we should be about set to go. Just have to remember where that part is now, too. The bummer about not doing this stuff all the time is you don't forget where all the settings are. All right, so here is the audio output. So it's under System Settings and Audio. Audio output, so right now it's outputting the audio to the HDMI port. I actually want to change that to the analog. I generally keep the audio port, like the TV volume turned down because I have a big sound system. So I'm going to change that to the Pi analog. Number of channels. I think my system is set up as a 5.1. Everything else should be pretty good. Stereo up mix, sure. Boost center channel. There you go. play GUI sounds on when playback is stopped. All right, so that should be set. So now all I would need to do is go and plug that into my TV, and it should be pretty much set to go. Oh boy. See where we're at. All right, well, that was kind of a long one, but I gotta readjust this picture here so that my one cat's actually, that is a little ominous though, because if you look right here, she's peeking out underneath the file manager. That's kind of creepy. All right, well, I don't think I'm gonna go over and walk this over to the TV on camera here. I think we've been on here for a while. Couple little complications just in getting this setup figured out as far as note to self, if you're running this on a Pi, you have to keep the programs in there until you get your core settings. And once I get that done, I'll probably be able to just take it off. In fact, I could probably just remove the video one as well. I don't generally have a need for that. And then I'm going to mess around here, like over here. I don't know who any of the directors are. I don't really care. So I'm going to go ahead and dump some of these if I can. But with that being said, I think we are just about ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take this offline and walk this guy into the TV and double check that everything works over that way. And hopefully we'll have a very nice setup going with this. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.